someone else and wondered why everything seems so easy for them? Maybe it's a friend who gets perfect grades without trying, or a coworker who just seems to get it while you're still struggling with the basics. It's frustrating, right? We start to think that maybe we just weren't born with the right stuff. But what if I told you that you have a hidden superpower that you're probably ignoring because you're too busy looking at everyone else? Today, I want to share a story about a boy named David. It's a story that completely changed how I look at my own life, and I think it's going to help you realize exactly where your real strength is hiding. Imagine a quiet, peaceful town. It's the kind of place where the trees are always green, the air feels fresh, and everyone knows each other's names. In a small house on a quiet corner, there lived a 12-year-old boy named David. David was in the 6th grade, and for the most part, he was a happy, energetic kid. Now, if you saw David outside, you'd see a different person than the one sitting in a classroom. On the soccer field, David was like a different creature. He loved the feeling of the grass under his cleats and the way the ball felt when he controlled it. Soccer wasn't just a game to him, it was where he felt most alive. He'd spend hours at the public park nearby practicing his footwork over and over until the sun went down. But then there was school. Specifically, there was math. One afternoon, David came home from school and you could just tell something was wrong. He didn't drop his bag and head for the kitchen for a snack. Instead, he just slumped onto the couch. He looked exhausted, but not the good kind of exhausted you feel after a long run. He looked defeated. He pulled a math book out of his bag, stared at the pages for a few seconds like they were written in a secret code he couldn't crack, and then just leaned back into the cushions with a heavy sigh. David's father had been out in the backyard, probably tending to the garden, when he walked in and saw his son. He didn't say anything at first. He just watched David for a moment. He knew that look. It's a look we've all had, that feeling of being stuck. He walked over and sat down next to David. "What's going on, son?" he asked gently. David didn't hold back. He told his dad about the math test he'd just gotten back. It wasn't a good grade, but as they talked, it became clear that the grade wasn't the real problem. The real problem was a boy named Matt. Matt lived right next door. He and David were close friends, but Matt was everything David wasn't when it came to school. In math class, Matt was like a machine. No matter how hard the problem was, Matt seemed to find the answer in seconds. David looked at his dad and said, "It doesn't matter how hard I try. I study, I listen, but Matt just gets it. I feel like I'm running a race where the other person started a mile ahead of me. Why can't I be like that?" His father listened patiently. He didn't give him a lecture or tell him to just study harder. Instead, he went to the kitchen, got a glass of water, and let the room go quiet for a second. When he came back, he said, "David, I want to teach you something, but I can't just tell you. I need to show you. I want to give you 3 challenges over the next few days. Are you up for it?" David was confused, but he respected his father more than anyone, so he nodded. "Okay, Dad, what's the first challenge?" The first challenge was simple. "Tomorrow, I want you to invite Matt to play soccer with you." David thought that was a bit weird, but he did it. The next morning was beautiful, clear blue skies and a perfect breeze. After school, David and Matt headed down to the field. Now remember, David practiced soccer every single day. It was his passion. As soon as the game started, the roles were completely reversed. David was moving with total confidence. He was dribbling past Matt, making perfect passes, and before the game was even halfway over, David had scored 3 goals. And Matt was struggling. He was tripping over the ball, he was out of breath, and he kept making simple mistakes. He wasn't familiar with the game at all. But even though Matt wasn't playing well, they were both still having a great time. They laughed, they ran, and they enjoyed the afternoon. When David got home, he ran to his dad in the backyard. "Dad, I did it. We played soccer. I scored 3 times. Matt wasn't very good at all." His father smiled. "And there's your first lesson, David. How to discover your true potential starts with realizing that everyone has a different starting line. Matt is a
When they were
genius
waiting
in math,
in line for
but on
lunch,
that soccer
Matt
field,
was counting
you
the
were the
floor
teacher.
tiles.
You're different,
When they were at
and
recess,
that's not just
Matt was
okay.
looking at a
It's how
flower
the
and
world
counting the
works.
petals. When he got a little bit of change back from the vending machine, he was calculating the percentage of what he spent versus what he had left. That evening, David sat on the bench in the garden with his dad. "He does it all the time, Dad," David said. "Matt doesn't just do math in class. He's counting everything. He's solving puzzles in his head while he walks. He even counted the petals on a flower today." His father nodded. "That is the secret, David. People think talent is a magic wand, but it's actually about what you do when no one is watching. Matt is good at math because he lives it. He enjoys it, so he practices it constantly, without even thinking of it as work. This is the art of showing up every day. If you want to get better at something, you have to find a way to make it part of your life, even in small ways, just like you do with soccer." David was starting to get the picture. He could see that his soccer skills came from the same place Matt's math skills came from: passion and practice. But then came the third and final challenge, and this one was the hardest. His father asked him, "David, honestly, how much better do you think Matt is at math than you are?" David thought about it. "I don't know, maybe 3 times better?" "Okay," his father said. "Then tomorrow, I want you to study math 3 times harder than you usually do. If you usually study for 1 hour, I want you to study for 3. No distractions, just math." David wanted to prove he could do it. The next afternoon, he sat at his desk. He opened his book and started working. The first hour went okay, he was focused, but as the second hour started, his brain began to feel foggy. By the third hour, he had a massive headache. The numbers started swimming on the page. He felt miserable. His body was tense and his heart wasn't in it. Without even realizing it, his head dropped onto the book and he fell fast asleep. He woke up to a soft tap on his shoulder. It was his father. "Wake up, son. It's time for dinner. Meet me in the garden afterward." David felt like a failure. He walked out to the garden, his head hanging low. "I'm sorry, Dad. I couldn't do it. I tried so hard, but my head started hurting and I just fell asleep. I guess I'll never be as good as Matt." His father sat him down and put a hand on his shoulder. "David, you didn't fail. You actually just learned the most important lesson of all. This is what happens when you try to force yourself to master something that you don't love. When you play soccer for 3 hours, do you get a headache? Do you fall asleep?" David shook his head. "No, I usually feel like I could go for another hour." "Exactly," his father said. "Discipline and consistency feel heavy when you're doing something just because you feel like you have to. But when you do what you love, that weight disappears." Now, that doesn't mean you can just quit math. We all have things we have to do. But if you want to be an expert, you have 2 choices. Either spend your time doing what you already love, or find a way to love what you are doing. He told David to look at the garden. Every plant here grows at a different speed. The roses don't try to be the oak trees, and the oak trees don't worry that they don't have flowers. They just focus on being the best version of themselves. David finally understood. He didn't need to be Matt. He needed to be David. He would still study math, but he wouldn't hate himself for not being a genius at it. He would focus his real energy on his soccer because that was his path to being an expert. It's a simple lesson, but it's one we forget as we get older. We spend so much time looking at other people's gardens that we forget to water our own. You have a talent. You have something that makes you feel the way David feels about soccer. Find that thing, practice it with everything you've got, and stop worrying about the maths in your life. If this story helped you see things a little differently today, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want more stories and reflections to help you end your day with a clear mind, make sure to subscribe to True Before Sleep. I'd love to hear in the comments, what's that one thing you're passionate about? Let's talk about it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.